Hello, hello, my beautiful sacred feminines. Wow, it's been a while since I made a video for you all. I've been doing the weekly tarot readings that I started about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and that's been going very lovely. But I haven't had any in between videos, any just musings and ramblings and thoughts and such. So it's something that I've really been working with, and that's why I wanted to get on here and talk to you about, is working with flow and timing. And when we feel inspired to do something, called to action, that is when we should be doing action. And if we're not, then we shouldn't be, but our society is so based on like do, achieve, accomplish, and consistency, and production, and just getting it out there. And even when we don't want to, it's like that's the message we get all the time. If you don't stay consistent, if you don't keep putting it out there, you're not going to be met in the way that you're wanting to be met. And I've been really pushing back on that, and not wanting to do, just out of fear of not getting my needs met, not achieving my dreams and my goals, and not being held and supported by the universe. So I've been really just letting go and waiting till the inspiration came. And because there's another thing, like when you force something and your heart's not really into it, it's kind of dead, it's all for the wrong reasons. And I feel like that energy can be felt. So I've just been waiting until I felt really called and inspired to get on here and share. Another thing is that I've just been going through a lot of transformation, and sometimes our thoughts, we're not able to articulate exactly what we're going through. I've been going through so much, and part of me is like, why aren't I sharing about this? Because so much is happening for me right now, like internally. But when the words aren't there, and when it's not all kind of formulating, I mean, I could get on here and just ramble, of course, but that I want to feel like there's kind of more of a thread, or a theme or something, so it wasn't gelling. There was nothing like, oh, I'm gonna get on here and talk about this, so I just wasn't doing it, and that's totally okay. And that's what I'm really wanting to talk with us about today, is releasing those structures, releasing those belief systems that we're not going to get held and met if we don't do what we've been trained to do, since day one. We got the early bird catches the worm, do. If you're not working hard, you're not going to get there. Do more than the next guy or gal, or like that's how you're going to achieve, and that's how you're going to get your dreams met. And I push back on that big time. I'm pushing back on that big time, and it is freaking challenging, I gotta tell you. And some of it's really painful to like really go into that, when I start feeling like there's fear there. If I don't do this, if you're not hearing from me regularly, you're gonna forget about me. And I don't know, it's just like, what I'm talking about, though. It's not that I don't know, I know. And comparing and contrasting, what's this other person doing? Oh my gosh, they're putting out videos so regularly, and like this new social media, I mean, it's relatively new. This is a new way of being in the world, and a new way of sharing ourselves and our ideas, and the structures that have been put in place around it, and the mental structures in our minds, and the time structures. And it can get really heavy, and just like, and really kind of thwart our own process, and thwart our hearts being into it, and just our natural form of expression. That comparing and contrasting to seeing what other people we deem as successful, what are they doing? Oh my gosh, I have to be doing that. No, we need to just be showing up as our authentic selves, if we want to show up at all. Like, this isn't for everybody. And so determining that, when does it just feel natural and good, and when does it arise and come out? Like right now, this feels natural and good for me, and it's just naturally rising, and I want to connect with you all and just share. And so I'm going to, and that's what feels good. So I just really want us to be coming from that place. And if we're not, when we're feeling that, like, oh, I have to do this to get that, I have to do this to achieve that, in order for this to happen, I have to do this. letting go of that, letting go of that, letting go of that, having more trust and confidence in the universe and in our hearts and in source to really support us in any way, a lot of people were just wonderfully supported before social media ever happened, and social media is just one little piece of it. That's just, I'm using that as an example. There's so many ways, if I don't go to college, if I don't get this, if I don't get that degree, if I don't do blah, 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 I'm not going to succeed. My dreams won't be met. If I don't do this, if I don't buy the house, if I don't get married, if I don't have kids, if I don't do blah, 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 if I don't conform, if I don't wear this certain outfit, if I don't, look this certain way, then I'm not going to get XYZ, that's what we've been told since day one. We have to do this to get that. And I am pushing back on that. And a lot of people are pushing back on that right now. And, I was talking to, this is what this really was inspired by, part of my practice. I do my meditation every morning. I'm journaling and writing. I mean, I'm always working with what's up, I'm just always working with our energies and such and different themes. And I was talking to somebody. I was having a Zoom meeting with a woman the other day, and we were talking about the structures falling down and, external factors and society and all the changes that are happening. And I'm like, well, what are they? Like, what are you actually seeing? What systems are you seeing dismantling and crumbling? Because I keep hearing about it in all the astrology I listen to and all of the, channeled messages and all of the sources that I connect with that inspire me. I keep hearing about this and hearing that, but I'm like, what am I actually seeing that's happening? And granted, I don't watch the news a lot, and I check into alternative media sources on occasion, not to get into fear around what's going on, but just to kind of know a little bit. So but I'm just like, so what's really going on out there? And I recognized within the last few days, like, the systems that are really falling apart are internal. For me, my internal systems are just annihilating. I keep getting the Tower card. It's crumbling. The foundation is not the same. It's going away. And it's those belief systems of how I have to be and perform and do in order to be in abundance, in joy, in love, in peace, and prosperity, and with connection, and all of my dreams coming true. I have to do this, and this to get that. And it's just falling apart. It's completely falling apart. And I can't even I was in bed. Was that yesterday? No, the day before. I was just in bed all day because I couldn't even and that's happened a few times over the past couple weeks. I just kind of hit the wall, and I'm just like, I have no motivation. I'm just in this energy that's just like, stop and just chill out, just be. And it used to be I would push against that and really force it and oh, but I have to do this. I got to get this done. I got to blah, 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 blah. These are all the things on my list. If I don't do this, this is going to happen. This isn't going to happen. It's just like, no, stop. Just be in bed. Allow the timing of whatever needs to happen. Let your energy flow. When you're feeling like doing, do. When you're feeling like not, don't. So I've just been really allowing that, and I don't want to say it's hard, but it's hard. I mean, it's like, it really pushes back on all of my achieve, go. And just so really just okay, that is not going to get me where I'm trying to go ultimately. Where I'm trying to go is into freedom and flow and peace and joy and love. And that's not coming from a fear-based place. If I'm in fear of missing out and fear and in lack, and that's not how I want to be. So all of that's just falling apart right now in the really biggest way. And I'm just allowing it, and really, and I'll sit there and I'll cry because it's like, and because I can feel the fear coming up, and I just have to sit there and work with it and just okay, there's fear, but it's not real. It's old systems that are dying. It's old ways that I've been told that I have to be. I don't have to be like that, you know? You don't have to be like that. We don't have to be like that. This is an old system. This is part of the patriarchy. And I'm not poo-pooing at the patriarchy. It's just part of what our experience was, and that's fine. But it is, those are the systems that are falling apart right now. Old ways of being, old ways of relating to each other, old ways of relating to ourselves, old ways of relating to God, source, spirit, the universe, abundance, peace, fun, play, you know, all the ways that we love, the way that we've related to that. So that's what's falling apart right now. And I just pray that you are able to allow that process for yourself as well. If you're recognizing that that is happening for you too, just to allow it to move through and allow yourself to just not push back against it, you know, not force yourself into doing if you're not feeling called to do, you know. And I know that takes a lot of trust and confidence and faith, but that's really what we're being called to right now, to trust in this process and let this stuff fall apart, because it is not serving us. It has not served us, you know. It's served a few. It has served a few. It's not serving us, and it's time for it to go. So I just really want to let you know that you're held and seen in this process, however it's showing up for you. You're not alone. A lot of people are going through this right now. A lot is dying and crumbling, and that looks different for everybody, but it's not necessarily so much external, but there is external, because our external matches our internal. And when our internal systems are dying, those old beliefs, of course the external is going to start matching that. So that's what's going on for humanity right now. And not everybody's into this, not everybody's on this path right now, but for those of us that are, we're really in it. And the astrology is big right now. It is kicking some ass. It's destroying that old stuff. It is a big Tower card moment. But what's on the other side of the Tower? It's the Star card, which is just this gorgeous, beautiful, loving, free energy, just connected to source, connected to the earth. It's flowing, it's intuitive, it's beautiful, it's celestial, you know, the stars are up above, and it's just, it's a divine card. It's beautiful. So when that crumbles, we move into, and we allow it to crumble. Don't fight it, just let it go, and we move on to the other side. When that happens, and when that comes, when that energy is allowed to move through us, we're going to know our divinity, and we're going to feel that love and that wholeness and that peace and that joy. The more we can let go and let go and let go. So just really honor the process for yourself. Know that you are not alone. Reach out to me if you need any support with this. I'm totally here for you. I am just loving the heck out of us through all of this process, because that's what we came here for, and it's gorgeous and it's beautiful, and all of it's like, wow, crazy, you know. So there's some really beautiful things. Like, there's so much freedom on the other side of this stuff when we release these, when we allow it to move through and to let go. So I'm trying to think if there's anything more I wanted to say. I think that's kind of the gist of it. I always just come on here with kind of a theme. I don't like have a list of things, so sometimes I'm like, does that feel complete? And I can always create another video if there's more I have to say. But just wanted to let you know also that I hold a bunch of different circles, healing circles, love circles, connection circles, for us to support each other as we move through. So check out my website below for all the upcoming events to support us in our process. I also offer one-on-one sessions, sacred feminine awakening sessions, to support us in our process, to support us releasing all that wounded feminine energy, which that really is, that fear-based feeling like we need to do something to be held and supported and seen. And that's just, it's learned behavior, it's learned patterns, and it's, you know, it's inherited patterns. So, you know, moving out of that into our sacred feminine, hence the sacred feminine awakening session. That's what, you know, releasing that and helping us to open into love, and open into the sacred feminine, the receptivity, the joy, the peace, the wholeness, the oneness, the health, the well-being, the vibrant, vital energy, vitality, you know, gorgeous energy. When we release all that fear, that resentment, the victim mentality, the victim consciousness, the lack, the resentment, judgment, bitterness, you know, the repressed anger, repressed emotions, repressed grief, when we let go of all of that, you know, move into our sacred feminine expressions, it's just like, oh, so much freedom and ease and joy in our bodies, minds, and spirits. So Those sessions really support that process for you. And of course, I have my programs, a beautiful program, Sacred Feminine Phoenix Rising, to really, when you're really ready for a deep transformation and a really purging and releasing all of that in a really big way, and really seeing your patterns, recognizing them, going, oh my gosh, okay, wow, whew, there's those, and now how do we move out? How do we move out of that? So so check that out. Again, link is below. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the little notification bell so you get notified of the videos. So if you feel called to, of course. I think I'll leave it at that. It's been really nice to connect with you, and it's so nice to feel like in that space to do so. So open to allow and receive, allow and receive, allow and receive, and flow with the timing, flow with your own timing. That's what it was. I was going to read an oracle card for you. Okay. Hold on, please. And I may even get more into this in another video. This is from Sacred Rebels Oracle. This is my favorite oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. Okay, so okay, this is perfect because this is exactly what I'm working with, and this is what shows up today. I now release, this is the little, she gives like a little affirmation thing at the end, a little thing to say. It's the healing process, she calls it. I now release any unhealthy attachment to the structures, routines, and belief systems of others that are preventing me from accessing and honoring my inner sacred rhythms. May I be assisted through unconditional love to know the truth of my own timing. I love myself enough to give myself rest when needed, to trust in my own timing and not feel forced or rushed. I believe in myself enough to take healthy, inspired risks and action when the timing feels right to me. I trust in my inner rhythms. They are wise and helpful. Through unconditional love, so be it. So that just really sums up so much of what I'm talking about here, the inner rhythms. Like, we know when it's time to act. We know when it's time to, be still and be calm. So trust those, And if it's other things that are keeping you from acting, like, resistance or insecurities or other fear-based issues, that's a whole nother thing that you can start exploring for yourself. If there's things that are keeping you from being in action, if there's fear that's holding you back, that's, other things to be working with. But a lot of this is just pushing and forcing ourselves to do when it just doesn't feel like the time for us. So this discussion is learning to trust those inner rhythms, trust when you feel called to be downtime, trust when you feel called to action, those things. And of course there's other factors, but that's the gist of this conversation, because there's so many times when we override our body, we override our wisdom, we override the intelligence of our own divine being, and we try to adhere to all of these rules and structures and belief systems that have been laid out for us, so that we have inherited. So that's what we're talking about here, and maybe we'll get into the other later, like what is keeping us in fear if we want to act, and that could be insecurities, fear of not being seen or met or heard, or just a lot of other concerns that can come up for us. So but we'll save that for a different conversation. So again, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to further connections with you. I look forward to seeing you in the circle. So bye all. Looking for my little mouse. It's kind of dark in here, so there it is. Bye.